My mother-in-law, Eleanor, was trapped in a fire, trying to save my treasured heirloom necklace. She suffered severe burns over 70% of her body, hanging by a thread. She desperately needed $500,000 for skin grafts and anti-infection surgeries. I frantically tried to withdraw our recently matured savings, only to find the account completely empty. I called my husband, Ethan, but his one true love, Genevieve, answered the phone. Ethan, this $5 million pink diamond necklace looks so perfect with my custom gown. I'll definitely steal the show on the red carpet tonight. A chill ran through me, but Ethan's voice, hushed and impatient, growled from the other end of the line. I lent the money to Genevieve to make a statement first. A little burn cream is all my mom needs. Don't bother me. He didn't know that $500,000 was his own mother's life, slowly clawing back from the baiku. Later, he pounded his head against the floor outside the sterile unit, begging me to save her. I only handed him a pair of handcuffs. Dr. Miller emerged from the burn intensive care unit, his scrub still on, his brows deeply furrowed. Olivia Eleanor's family? I shot up from the floor, my legs numb from kneeling for so long. I stumbled forward. I'm here. I clutched the wall, my voice hoarse, like sandpaper. He handed me a long payment slip and a critical condition notice simultaneously. His voice was low, yet every word hit like a ton of bricks. The patient has 70% deep second to third degree burns across her body, accompanied by severe inhalation injuries. Her condition is very unstable tonight, and infection indicators are off the charts. Basic resuscitation will continue, but subsequent imported anti-infection medication and continuous hemodialysis require family consent, and the fees must be paid as soon as possible. A deposit of $500,000 is needed first. I stared at the string of despairing numbers on the payment slip, my vision blurring, my ears ringing. My mother-in-law, Eleanor, had been burned that afternoon. An old house in an older part of the city had suffered a sudden electrical short and caught fire. The flames spread quickly. Neighbors had all run out, and Eleanor had initially escaped too. But then she remembered a necklace my mother had left me before she died, still in a bedroom drawer in the old house. She knew it was my most cherished keepsake, and she rushed back into the flames without a second thought. By the time the firefighters pulled her out, she was unrecognizable. Her skin was peeling and burnt, emitting a suffocating smell of scorched flesh. Before she was pushed into the baiku, she couldn't even open her eyes, yet she clutched a smoke-blackened jade bracelet, trying with all her strength to press it into my hand. Her dry, cracked lips moved for a long time, only managing a faint whisper. "Olivia, it's not broken, don't cry." In that moment, my heart felt like it was being ripped apart. But the one who should have been here, her own son, Ethan, was nowhere to be seen. I trembled as I pulled out my phone and dialed the number I knew by heart. The first call went unanswered. The second was immediately hung up. It wasn't until the 15th call that the phone finally connected. Before I could speak, a woman's seductively sweet laughter floated from the other end. "Ethan, help me put on this necklace. This pink diamond truly suits my complexion. I'll definitely be the center of attention on the film festival red carpet tonight." I froze, feeling like I'd been plunged into an ice bath. Ethan's voice quickly dropped. "Olivia?" I clutched the payment slip so hard my nails almost dug into my flesh, biting back my anger. "Where are you?" He was silent for 2 seconds, his tone laced with impatience. "I'm handling an urgent matter outside. Your mother is in the baiku with 70% severe burns. The doctors need $500,000 for her life-saving treatment, and you're telling me you have an urgent matter?" I practically roared. The other end of the line went silent for a moment. Then Genevieve's cloyingly sweet and artificial voice broke through. "Olivia, don't worry. Aren't the doctors at the hospital treating Eleanor? Ethan is with me on important business. Tonight is incredibly important to me." I laughed, a bitter, shaking sound born of pure fury. What important business? More important than your own mother's life. Ethan's voice immediately turned cold, a clear warning in his tone. Olivia, don't be so harsh. Genevieve is walking the International Film Festival red carpet tonight. Her team invested so many resources. If she doesn't have a show-stopping piece of jewelry to make a statement tonight, her rivals will tear her apart. Who's going to cover those losses? I almost thought I was hallucinating. What about the $500,000 in our account that just matured? I demanded, my voice sharp. The bank manager just said the money was fully transferred by you at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Where did it go? Ethan paused, then spoke with infuriating self-righteousness. I already used that money to pay the rental and deposit for Genevieve's pink diamond necklace. You figure something out for Mom for a couple of days. Just put some burn cream on it. She'll be fine. Don't make a big deal out of nothing. I stood in the empty, cold corridor, the constant beeping of monitoring equipment filling my ears. The cold seeped into my very bones. Ethan, I asked him, enunciating each word, do you know where your mother is right now? Do you know what deep third-degree burns mean? His voice grew even more agitated. Of course I know, but she's lying in the hospital, isn't she? Doctors always exaggerate to scare families into paying more. Genevieve's situation is different. The red carpet is about to start. Hundreds of media cameras are on her. There can't be a single mistake. Genevieve's soft voice cooed from beside him. Ethan, don't argue with Olivia. If Eleanor were awake, she'd surely want you to seize this opportunity first, right? After all, when my commercial value rises, I'll be in a better position to take care of Eleanor, won't I? Seize this opportunity. I looked down at the glaring red words critical condition on the payment slip and suddenly felt utterly absurd. My mother-in-law had been so frugal her entire life, almost to the point of being harsh. She'd price compare at several grocery stores just to save a few bucks. Her air conditioner broke last summer, but she wouldn't replace it, saving every penny so Ethan could buy a new house. Last year, when I suffered a severe hemorrhage from an ectopic pregnancy, Ethan sat in the hospital corridor for just 10 minutes before excusing himself for a company meeting and leaving. It was Eleanor who stayed by my side for half a month, never leaving, barely sleeping. She'd grumble about my poor health, but she'd wake up countless times in the middle of the night, checking my forehead for a fever. If I so much as shifted in bed, she reacted faster than the nurses. She wasn't highly educated, and sometimes her words were rough. But when my life was on the line, she protected me with her own. Now she lay charred black in a sterile unit, close to death. Yet her biological son was using her life-saving money to rent a diamond necklace for another woman to walk the red carpet. Dr. Miller, seeing my pale, swaying face, walked over and sternly reminded me, "Family, it's best not to delay it any longer. The patient's blood volume is critically low. If we don't start CRRT immediately, her kidney function will fail." I snapped back to reality, abruptly hanging up the phone. "Doctor, I'll find a way right away." I transferred all the money from my bank accounts and maxed out 3 credit cards, barely scraping together $80,000. The cashier looked at the system and reminded me coldly, "You're still short $420,000. I turned, clutching the thin receipt, and saw the massive digital screen in the hospital lobby, broadcasting the International Film Festival red carpet live. Rising star Genevieve stuns with a multi-million-dollar pink diamond, escorted by a mysterious male companion who never leaves her side. On the screen, Ethan wore a tailored tuxedo, his hair immaculately groomed, a charming, polite smile on his face. There wasn't a hint of a son worried about his dying mother. Genevieve wore a shimmering mermaid gown, clinging to his arm, the huge pink diamond on her neck refracting blinding light under the spotlights. She flashed a captivating smile at the cameras, like a queen on her throne. I stared intently at the screen, then suddenly tightened my grip on the payment slip and turned to leave. I'd see how much luxury and glamour he was paving for Genevieve with Eleanor's skin and blood. The film festival was held at the Starlight Grand Theater in the city center. When I arrived, the red carpet was already nearing its end, the perimeter packed with frenzied fans and media outlets of all kinds. Security was extremely tight. The red carpet stretched from the plaza all the way into the theater's main hall, flanked by flashing lights and fan signs. On the most prominent massive LED fan truck, Genevieve's stunning posters scrolled continuously with the caption, "Exclusively sponsored by Mr. Ethan." Genevieve was standing in the interview area at the end of the red carpet, her voice sickeningly sweet. This necklace holds profound meaning for me, and I want to thank all my fans for their support, and especially this most important person beside me. Without his unwavering support, I might not be standing here today. As she spoke, her eyes, brimming with affection, gazed at Ethan. Ethan thoughtfully adjusted the hem of her gown. The live comments on the big screen scrolled wildly. Jen is so beautiful. That pink diamond is absolutely breathtaking. Who's the handsome guy next to her? Giving off rich CEO vibes. Totally shippable. Their eyes were practically glued together. Just get married already. I stood outside the barricade, watching Ethan shield her from the blinding camera flashes. That motion was so practiced, it was as if they were the loving couple. Clutching the payment slip and the critical condition notice, I took a deep breath, then pushed past the security guard and walked, step by determined step, toward the interview area. The security guard gasped in alarm. "Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't come in here." I ignored him, rushing forward like a madwoman. Genevieve saw me first, her perfect smile freezing for an instant, but quickly returning to her innocent, vulnerable facade. "Olivia? Why are you here looking like that?" Ethan turned, saw my disheveled state, with my mother-in-law's blood still on my clothes, and his brows furrowed tightly. He lowered his voice, furious. "What are you doing making a scene here? Aren't you ashamed? Did you take care of things at the hospital?" I raised my hand and slapped the critical condition notice hard against his chest. "Your mother is charred and lying in the ICU with a $420,000 deficit waiting to be filled, and you're asking me if I took care of things." Nearby journalists, always alert, quickly caught the words "intensive care unit" and pointed their cameras at us. Ethan's face instantly changed. He grabbed my wrist, his grip so strong it almost crushed my bones. "Shut up! Don't cause trouble here. Come outside with me." I struggled with all my might to shake off his hand, pointing at the pink diamond necklace on Genevieve's neck, my voice sharp with anguish. "I'm causing trouble? Ethan, that $500,000 in our matured savings was waiting to save your mother's life. Why didn't the hospital receive a single penny?" Genevieve's eyes immediately reddened, and tears streamed down her face. "Olivia, don't misunderstand Ethan. That money was just temporarily lent to me for the necklace's deposit. Tonight's red carpet is too important to me. If I didn't have this necklace, the brand would blacklist me. Did I can write you an IOU that I'll pay you back as soon as I get my payment." Pay back. I looked at her performative display, laughing bitterly in my fury. My mother-in-law is hanging on by a thread, kept alive by a ventilator and a dialysis machine. Are you gambling her life for your career? Genevieve bit her lip, swaying as if about to collapse, as if she were the one suffering some immense injustice. I couldn't help it. This is my only chance to make it big. If I mess up today, all my years of effort will be wasted. Ethan immediately shielded her behind him, looking at me like an enemy, his voice incredibly cold. Enough. Olivia, Genevieve is going through enough already. Do you have to destroy her at the most important moment of her life? I looked at this man I had shared a bed with for 5 years, and felt like my chest had been hollowed out, cold wind whistling through it. Asterisk, she's asterisk going through enough? So your mother should just be burned alive and left to die. Genevieve suddenly poked her head out from behind Ethan, her eyes red-rimmed, but her words were like poison daggers, stabbing straight into my heart. Olivia, I know you're always jealous of how well Ethan treats me, but Eleanor is Ethan's biological mother, and even Ethan can weigh the pros and cons and agree to postpone treatment. You're not her biological daughter, so why are you pretending to care more than her own son? Are you trying to use this as an excuse to get a share of the family assets? The surrounding journalists instantly fell silent. Only the frantic clicking of camera shutters remained. I stared intently at her, shaking with rage, and then let out a bitter laugh. You know that's his biological mother. Ethan avoided my furious, almost feral gaze, tugged at his tie, clearly agitated, trying to argue his way out of it. Didn't the doctors say? Burns just looks scary. It's not like she's going to immediately. He swallowed his words before he could finish, as if he himself felt guilty. I finished the sentence for him, my voice cold as ice. Immediately die? Genevieve's face went pale. She quickly pulled Ethan's arm, saying softly, Ethan, don't say anything more. Olivia is emotional right now. I understand how she feels. Let's just lend her the money first. Her pretense of understanding and generosity made my stomach churn with nausea. I pulled out my phone, dialed the bank manager directly, and put it on speaker, turning the volume to maximum. The phone rang twice before it was answered. Miss Olivia? I forced my voice steady, asking coldly, Mr. Davies, I'd like to confirm, where was the $500,000 deposit transferred this afternoon at 1 p.m.? Mr. Davies hesitated. That it was transferred to a private account, as per Mr. Ethan's instruction. I'm asking you, was it transferred to the hospital's corporate account? More and more celebrities and journalists gathered to watch, and the live comments on the big screen were already flipping wildly. What's going on? Wife publicly exposes cheating husband and his mistress. Using his own mother's life savings to rent a necklace for his mistress? What kind of monster does something like that? Isn't that guy Genevieve's sugar daddy? Turns out he's just a leech, stealing his own mother's life savings. Mr. Davies was silent for 2 seconds, then finally delivered the fatal blow. No, it wasn't the hospital. The recipient was Starlight Jewel Rentals. I stared at Ethan's instantly ashen face and pressed him. Ethan, what do you have to say for yourself now? Ethan flushed with anger, cutting me off sharply. It's my money once it's in my account. I can spend it however I want. I'm her only son. Her money will be mine eventually. So, you can use it to fund someone else's vanity? I said it was a loan, a temporary transfer. Ethan was still stubbornly refusing to admit it. I stopped arguing with him and turned directly to face all the media cameras. I held up the critical condition notice, the ICU payment request, and the bank transaction records I had printed on the way, all high above my head. To all my friends in the media, look closely, Ethan. To rent this pink diamond necklace for Genevieve, stole his mother's life-saving $500,000. His mother is now suffering 70% burns, waiting to die in the ICU. The moment my words fell, the scene exploded as if a heavy bomb had been dropped. Holy crap! Trading his own mother's life for his mistress's red carpet walk. That's utterly despicable. Can she really still wear that? Doesn't she worry about karmic retribution? Genevieve frantically covered the necklace on her neck, screaming at the security personnel. Security, get this crazy woman out of here. Turn off the live stream. Turn it off now. I took a big step forward, firmly blocking the center of the camera's view. Don't turn it off. My eyes were red as I pointed at the vibrant red carpet beneath Genevieve's feet. This red carpet you're standing on, it's ripped from my mother-in-law's charred flesh. That diamond you're looking at, it's stained red with her blood. Ethan's face completely twisted. He lunged like a rampaging beast, reaching out to snatch my phone and the evidence. Bitch! I'll kill you! I was prepared. I sharply sidestepped him, coldly watching him miss and stumble and fall heavily to the ground. What's the rush? There's still my mother-in-law's accidental death insurance, isn't there? Didn't Genevieve just say, let's just get through tonight's red carpet first? Genevieve's face instantly went ashen, and she recoiled in terror. Ethan abruptly turned, staring at her in disbelief. You told her about the insurance? Genevieve opened her mouth, tears instantly streaming. I didn't mean it like that. Ethan, let me explain. Watching the repulsive scene of them blaming each other, my last shred of hope was completely shattered. I finally understood that they weren't just after the $500,000 in savings. They were also after the $2 million accidental death insurance payout if Eleanor didn't make it. Just then, my phone vibrated wildly. It was the hospital's dedicated number. My heart plummeted. My fingers trembled as I pressed the answer button. Dr. Miller's voice was more anxious than ever, tinged with a deep sense of helplessness. Olivia, the patient is in severe septic shock. Her blood pressure is almost undetectable. Also, someone just contacted the hospital claiming to be her legal guardian, requesting to forego all life-sustaining resuscitation and opt for palliative care. Dio, you know about this. All the blood in my body felt like it was drained instantly, my fingers so stiff I could barely hold the phone. What? Dr. Miller paused, his voice incredibly grave. The applicant used your identity information. If we proceed, we'll have to remove the ventilator immediately.